So my life at the moment is one of massive adventure. I get to travel the world, I get to fly business class. People say that I'm an exceptionally good coach. I coach people around the planet itself. I also train people in different countries across planet Earth. And one of the things that comes up as a result of all of that is that people say to me, Alex, you've been amazingly lucky. And that's what I want to have a brief conversation with you about today, is this idea that I've been amazingly lucky. So looking back on my life, if we go back to when I was born, I was actually born with a heart defect. And my parents were told that if your son makes it to 13-year-old, we'll be able to operate on his heart then, but he may not make it. And the heart needs to grow big enough to actually be able to actually endure this operation. So for that first stretch of my life, I was too young to understand, but my parents were deeply concerned about whether or not I would actually live long enough to get this operation. So as I said, they were told, if he gets to 13, we can then operate. Unfortunately, when I was 8-year-old, I collapsed. And they said, we've got to do the operation now. But it was experimental. They'd never done it on a child of that age before. And then to cap it all, it couldn't be done in my home city. So I had to go to a different city to have this operation done. Obviously, from the fact that I'm talking with you right now, that operation was a success. But it meant years of continued monitoring of my heart. At the time when the operation took place, because I was a child, I was placed in a separate ward on my own, so I wasn't allowed to mix with the other people. Everybody else in that part of the hospital was an adult, and so they kept me separate. Some gentleman, I'm sure very well-meaning gentleman, had had a heart operation similar to mine, and he told me, remembering I'm 8-year-old, he told me, hey Alex, I died on the operating theatre and they had to revive me, and I can tell you that beyond that death there was nothing. That was fantastic to hear as a young child waiting to have the operation. So I endured all of that, and then, as I said, year after year, beyond that operation, I had to have checkups. I had to trudge through snow and ice, often be taken in ambulance to hospitals every year to check if this was okay. And again, what my parents were told was, this might not work. If Alex gets to 18, then he'll be okay, but he might not make it to 18, he might actually die. And by then I was aware of this. So I spent most of my young life knowing that my body was almost a time bomb that could actually kill me at any point in time. Allied to all of that, I was growing up in a part of the northeast of England which is generally regarded as quite deprived. The major industry for that part of the world was shipbuilding. Just as I was about to leave, myself and my compadres from school, we were told that the shipyards were closing down and that the apprenticeships that we'd all relied on were gone. Our teachers, bless them, actually told us that you will amount to nothing in life. None of you will ever achieve anything. So I left school with no educational qualifications at all, went straight to unemployment, so spent the first year beyond school absolutely unemployed with nothing, no prospects and no way out of it. I couldn't see a pathway from there. I took the first job I could get, which actually turned out to be the major career pathway for me in my life, which was moving into the mental health field. And beyond that, I spent most of my working life in the mental health field. But there were massive challenges in doing that too. There were struggles, I took jobs that nobody else would take. I volunteered to do the work that nobody else would do. I did shifts that nobody else was prepared to do. I also went through a marriage that broke up and was not the most pleasant of breakups of marriage. I migrated from England to Australia, not because of my deep desire to be in another country, but more about moving away from things in my life. I've got to say that was probably one of the most incredible moments and one of the most positive decisions I ever made, but it wasn't made out of a desire for seeing Australia as the solution to every problem. It was made from the desire to get away from my problems. Then even in Australia, I moved internally within Australia. I didn't just settle in one place till I found the right spot for me. So my life's been a life of struggle and challenge and difficulty, but damned hard work. I've done the things that others wouldn't do. I continue to coach more people in one day than most coaches would ever dream of. I continue to work hours that nobody else would think of. I continue to accept tasks and jobs that other people would say no to. So when people say to me, they look at my life and they see all of these wonderful things happening, and they say, Alex, you've been lucky. I haven't been lucky. I've worked extremely hard for what I've got. But what I think goes through their head is I can't have it because I haven't been lucky. So if you're sitting waiting to be lucky, it's not going to come to you. The answer to the challenges that sit in front of you are always action-based. Do something about it. Work hard. Commit to it. Push yourself. You're capable of far more than you believe. The lifestyle I have comes from hard work, not luck. Cheers.